Welcome back to Real Estate Masters on TV25. Today we're on location in Arbor Lake, subdivision in Lenexa, Kansas, and our special guest is Leslie Hodge with eXp Realty. Welcome back, Leslie.
Thank you.
So you're from Wichita.
Yes.
Can you speak a little bit about what's going on in the real estate market in Wichita? Is it as busy as it has been here in Kansas City? Any trends that you're seeing?
We've been very busy. There's a lot of development going on downtown, both commercially and residentially. They're doing, the loft, same things that they're doing up here in Kansas City in our downtown area. Obviously, the city just keeps expanding and going further and further out, just like Kansas City. So we've got a lot of suburbs that align all of the outskirts of Wichita area. So Andover, Derby, Mays, those are some of the bigger ones that we have, and they've got a lot of new home subdivisions that are going out in those areas.
What's your average kind of sales price in the Wichita area?
I would say probably 150 to 200 is just average sales. New construction on suburb type things, you're probably starting at 300, and we've got some new subdivisions that are starting in the 800s. So downtown, they're really focused on more of a business professional, probably starting at 250 for some of the loft spaces.
250 for some of the loft spaces. It's interesting.
Yep.
Now, is it a great market for investors to get involved in?
I've seen, I just recently met with a gentleman from Boston, and they're working on picking up apartment complexes and things like that because they're saying that the East Coast is so oversaturated with buyers that it's driven the price up. So they're looking at expanding into the Midwest. Wichita happened to have been one of the markets that they've been studying. So they are coming to the Midwest to look for different options with that because the purchase prices are so much lower that they could about get 2 for 1.
Right.
So even if they're not driving the same amount per unit for rent, they can still make the money up with multiple projects that they're working on.
And that's very interesting, and we were talking about that at a recent conference, but we know that there is a huge focus on the Midwest that is coming. I was looking at some hotel pieces, and I saw that Wichita was on there several times, including by an airport over here, and I'm like, what's going on in Wichita that so many people and companies are targeting it? And so are there specific employers who've moved there that you know of?
We've had a lot of long-term but big-name employers. We've got Coke Industries, Coca-Cola, Pizza Hut was founded there, Boeing, Cessna, those types of big companies have been there for a long time.
So that's cool. So we should definitely see a lot more expansion coming out of the Wichita market. Yeah. And so would you recommend people contact you to find these opportunities?
Sure.
Which way?
They can search the internet for them on my website. It's Leslie, Lesley, Hodge, .exprealty.com. And they can go in and put in all the parameters. And once they've went in and looked at things, then I'll have their contact info. If they want to shoot me a specific email of what they're looking for, then I'm happy to set them up on emails that they're going to get or phone calls, however they want to be contacted to see what those are.
Cool. Well, I know one thing. We were talking a little bit about what makes eXp different. And, of course, I'm with eXp and working with them as well. The piece that I think most people don't recognize is your website, for example, is tied into conversion. Yeah. And there's just this huge number of real estate agents who are using it. And I'm finding it kind of intriguing because I've never used it in the past. I don't know if you have jumped in because there's so many tools that kind of come with the company.
How does this work?
Well, it's social media driven. I mean, you're setting people up or something like this where we've given out a website and it attracts them to that website. So whether it's postcards that you're mailing out or squeeze pages online or things like that that's driving them to that site, then it's capturing their contact information. It'll tell me if they've come in off of Facebook, it'll send me a picture of what their profile picture is, an age, their name. I had one the other day that came in and told me what their Pinterest profile was. So you get to kind of know things about them. It'll also give you an idea of what they've been searching for. If they've looked at the properties multiple times, it'll say this person's looked at this property 3 times, so that we can be proactive and call them and say, hey, do you want to set up a showing to go and look at this property?
That's pretty amazing, because when it comes down to is, the customer wants to have the experience be about them, and it really lets you custom tailor it.
Absolutely. If they go online and they're looking at trying to figure out what their house is worth and they've put that in, then the company automatically mails them something, snail mail, and tells them to contact us for a more accurate description, but it kind of pulls some comps in their area and gives them a range. So it's just very proactive, getting in touch with people, making sure that they're followed up with via text, email, and mail.
I'm still pretty much
He's got
amazed
this
about
face.
this whole Pinterest thing, because you wouldn't want to see my Pinterest page.
Probably not. Your reputation supersedes you all the way to Wichita.
That's right. Exactly.
Oh, David.
I mean, have you ever had like a customer ask you about that? Go, what is that? Or
No.
no?
I don't really search their Pinterest pages. Yes.
Because I think we're going to take a short.
Saved by the bell.
Saved by the bell. That's right. We'll pick up on that when we get back. Thank you for watching TV25's Real Estate Masters.